You too. What's up with you? Hope you're having a wonderful day, being safe, and all that other good stuff. Other than that, video will be linked in the description below. And hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Let's get into it.
This is what happens when protesters mess with the wrong people. Let's start with this surreal scene. Protesters surrounded a cop car, ignoring the sirens, until out of nowhere, the vehicle sped up. The car kept moving, and one of them desperately clung to the hood, trying not to fall.
Shit. Hey, valid reason, you know what I mean? Hey, people start surrounding your car, you have all the valid reason to drive one of them over. It's self-defense at that point. Your life is in danger. You don't know if one of these people trying to break your window and pull you out. Valid reason, I would have done the exact same thing. Like, god damn.
People who saw it up close said at least 12 got hit, suffering multiple injuries. But check out these German officers. They didn't think twice before dragging away a guy who decided to block traffic by throwing himself into the street. And it didn't stop there. Right after, the same officer shoved another man, sending him to the ground. And as if that wasn't enough, a third was thrown straight into a fence.
Dang. Being dragged on the ground is crazy work, by the way.
But what this cop did next was even more shocking and almost ended in tragedy. Before we get to that, look at these Filipino officers. They didn't hesitate to charge at demonstrators blocking the front of the US Embassy, leading to a terrifying scene. Dozens were injured, and at least 3 had to be hospitalized, but they're doing okay now.
This morning, a violent scene outside the U.S. Embassy in Manila. A police van rammed into a group of protesters who had turned violent while demanding U.S. forces leave the Philippines. Nearly a dozen people have been injured.
Over in Greece, a police tow truck plowed into trash bins in the street, and one of them ended up knocking over a protester. The demonstration was triggered by the tragic train accident that claimed 57 lives.
Video from Athens shows a police crane vehicle barreling through bins that were wheeled into the street.
See,
a bin appears.
The question with that one though is I don't understand why he sped up that much. He didn't have to do all that. That was a little too much. I understand when your life is in danger or something like that. Like I can't want them saying greed type stuff, you know. Like, hey, if I have like let's say 30 or 10 people gathering around my car, I'll feel like my life is in danger. That gives me all type of reasons to run you the fuck over type shit. But when it comes to like 2 people and it's really just some trash, you know, trash cans, you know what I mean? That's an easy knockdown type shit. He didn't even turn. I think he had enough room to turn.
Train accident that claimed 57 lives.
Video.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't have enough room. There's people on the right side. I didn't even see them. But yeah. I don't think he needed to speed up that much to hit those things away.
Shows a police crane vehicle barreling through bins that were wheeled into the street. A bin appears to knock over a protester.
On top of that, the same day, clashes broke out in front of Parliament, where some demonstrators reportedly threw explosives at the cops, who responded with tear gas.
In my head, that's attempted murder. He's all right to get shot.
Parliament. Reports say some in the crowd threw explosive devices at law enforcement officers, who fired back with tear gas.
Now, these activists freaked out when officers charged straight at the barricade they had set up. They thought they had built something indestructible to block access to the Burning Man festival, but the vehicle pushed right through like it was made of cardboard.
Crazy stuff, or?
Yeah.
After that, cops forcibly removed people from the road so traffic could finally move again.
Stop resisting. Taser.
But it's not always pure hostility between protesters and law enforcement. Check out this unexpected scene in Nebraska. They put their differences aside and started dancing together.
Hit that shit.
Together and doing the Cupid Shuffle. This all happening after law enforcement and black leaders signed an agreement called Hold Cops Accountable.
They're killing it.
Let's get to one of the most shocking cases in this video. In California, a squad car sat in the middle of a protest for over 20 minutes until suddenly it sped off, dragging a guy with it.
Well, he jumped onto it. He literally jumped onto it. That's his fault.
The man was thrown to the ground and had to be taken to the hospital. Luckily, despite the scare, he only had minor injuries. But what this guy did in the middle of a protest was even worse.
I'll be honest with you, that's 100% all his fault, bro. Who told you to hop onto the vehicle? You can literally see him jump onto it. But he literally jumps onto it. He had all the time to go to the right side, go to the left side. Nah, he hopped onto it. My bad, I said into it. He hopped onto it. Like, bro. And the dude, I seen that
minor injuries. But what this guy did in the middle of a protest was even worse. Before we get to that, check this out. An animal rights activist stormed the court during a Timberwolves game, but was quickly tackled by security. She literally tripped over the team owner's wife, who looked absolutely stunned by what just happened. The woman was escorted out right after.
Shit. W security.
And in this case in Paris, officers had to use pepper spray to try and get these protesters out of the street. Some had to be dragged or carried away, and many were arrested.
Valid arrest. You ask me. To arrest every last one of them. You protesters should not bother me in my life.
The German officers.
I'm just saying, I shouldn't have to wait for you to get done with your protest for me to go to work. I shouldn't have to wait for you to get done with doing all this stuff for me to be able to go buy some groceries. I shouldn't have to wait for you for me to pass by all this bullshit for me to go home and relax because you want to sit here and protest. To me, I don't care. I don't care. I have too much stuff on my plate already. I don't care. Like, I think most people don't care. Like, they have too much stuff in their life to worry about all this stuff, bro.
Struggled a bit, but they didn't give up on carrying away a protester who was blocking traffic during an environmental demonstration.
Shut up.
In this case, mounted cops had to be called in to control the crowd. They didn't hesitate to charge in with their horses. Poor animals.
1,000 poor animals. Hey, I'm telling my horse to kick that bitch. My bad. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. There be some dead bitches that horse actually kick.
Now, this officer looks straight out of an action movie. He rushed toward a woman and didn't hesitate to take her down. She was a protester approaching the presidential convoy during the Summit of the Americas. Definitely something you shouldn't do.
A protester who was essentially tackled out front, showing, how it is very difficult to get right there. Nope, not going over there.
Speaking of characters, someone dressed as Pikachu tried to escape from the cops during protests in Turkey.
Crazy. I wonder how that feels to chase a Pikachu.
Maybe they should have switched sides and helped these French officers who wasted no time lifting demonstrators off the ground while the crowd cheered them on.
They got these hands. They got their hands inside the tube to block people from driving past. Great. What a smart idea. They're so smart.
In this case, German officers had to step in to stop the protesters. Some were removed, while others remained seated.
Like, you have a better chance of changing people's minds if you have your own platform, and then you talk about the reason why you want people to care about this thing you're caring about. You know what I mean? You should have facts, proof, and a reason why people should care about your cause. But no, what these people do is sit there, go outside, and make havoc for other people. I don't understand that idea. I don't understand this mindset to bother other people's lives just because you have an idea or a certain mindset that other people don't have. Like, if you want to tell people your idea and make people believe you're right or something like that in some twisted way of getting some, you know, some type of following, I don't know, do it like that, you know, make a platform, talk about it there. But I don't understand this mindset of ruining other people's lives or time just for your little bit of I don't know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds of blocking traffic.
Even the police dog lost its patience in this one and went after an environmental activist. Good thing the dog was wearing a muzzle. Now, for the most bizarre case in this video, this man completely lost it and pulled a gun on the protesters.
Crazy work though. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, how I feel about this is I understand the frustration. I don't agree about pulling the gun on people, but I do understand the frustration. You're trying to get somewhere and these people are in the way. I can only agree to pulling on a weapon if your life is in danger, but his life is not in danger, bro. He has no reason to pull it out.
The demonstration was blocking traffic, and the guy just ran out of patience, so he decided to threaten them to clear the way. Unfortunately, he went way too far, taking one person's life and sending another to the hospital. The cops were called.
Bro, can you just not shoot in the sky or something? That would have been more, like, at least that would scare them off at most. Like, I don't think, bro,
he was arrested. But what this truck did is unbelievable. It plowed straight into a massive group of protesters. But first, check out what these demonstrators did. They took things too far and glued their hands to the ground. Officers had to spend a ton of time getting them unstuck, and then they still had to carry them away from the road. What a hassle.
I don't know how I feel about the truck thing, because it's a highly possibility it's just a slowing truck. Because trucks take forever to slow down.
In the UK, the cops didn't hesitate to act, pushing a protester while using water cannons on the rest of the crowd. Even so, the group stood their ground and kept going.
Shit, they're gonna be sick the next day. They're gonna be over sick as fuck. You should make it really smelly water. That would have had them running. Make it sewage water.
Also using water, these officers managed to drive away demonstrators who refused to leave. One of them even tried to resist, but the force of the water was just too strong.
Well, they really think them holding up that shit will Work.
Now, check this out. The police decided to get creative and used paintball guns on the protesters.
Police are adopting a surprising new weapon for crowd control in these days of civil unrest. They're using paintballs. That's the same type we see at paintball parks across the USA.
It should be BB guns.
Only now, it's not for fun and games.
I know, but paintballs do hurt, actually. They do hurt.
We saw paintballs at work in Minneapolis when cops cleared bystanders who were watching from a front porch.
Look at this. They just keep coming.
Light them up! Get in the hole! The bystanders are astounded. They're being hit with paintballs.
Get in.
But it's not just the cops who lose patience with demonstrations. In London, this man got fed up with a slow-moving march and started dragging people out of the street himself. The thing is, they were blocking a bus lane, and we all know you don't want to mess with a worker on the clock.
Trying his money worth right now, but he got a family to feed. Got no time for this. He has a life. Like I said, none of this helps the situation. This makes people hate them. Like, people got jobs to go to.
This guy also got annoyed and told the protesters they should be doing something useful instead. At one point, he even tried dragging a few of them away, but it didn't do much.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Public nuisance! You think you're helping anything? Yeah. Go outside BP and petroleum. Why are you harming your community? This is a local community and we're all in the same boat. Go outside BP. Go outside Shell. Go and do this somewhere.
Now, this man, completely fed up with activists, decided to take a rather unconventional approach. Losing patience with the protest, he grabbed a bottle of milk and poured it over their heads, trying to shut it down right then and there. But drenched and unfazed, the demonstrators stood their ground, ignoring the provocation.
Having a laugh, who's that? No thanks. What's going on here? The Romans, the lot of you. Have that.
It should have been spoiled milk. They would have done more. Y'all know what? Y'all should have been outside with spoiled milk, just waiting.
Cool and nearly ran into the group blocking his path. He hesitated for a second, then got back in his vehicle, pushing through the protesters to clear the way.
Tired shit. Ooh, he really wanted to knock some of these people out, bro.
In Colorado, a car was surrounded by demonstrators near the state capitol, and the driver completely snapped. The vehicle suddenly surged forward, ramming into the crowd, even looping back around to hit one of them again. Despite the scare, the protester was okay, and the driver just kept going.
Ooh. Now that was definitely attempted right there.
Now check out what this TV cameraman did. An activist barged in to interrupt the show with a protest, but within seconds the camera swung straight into his head, knocking him down. We don't know if it was intentional, but hey, it worked.
Tight shit. Doesn't help anything.
This human chain didn't last long when a car pushed through the group. The driver lost patience and just kept going, leaving the blockade behind.
There's a car that's trying to get in.
It's like a narcissist.
in Brazil. A protester refused to move from in front of a truck, so he went along for the ride. The truck driver said he told the guy to get off, but he kept refusing to listen.
Crazy work. Oh, I guess he's not going home anytime soon.
Check this out. A demonstrator insisted on standing in the middle of the street so the car didn't stop. The man was hit by the car door and knocked down, but he just sat there.
Shit.
This woman also lost her patience and decided to drag protesters out of the way herself. If she was on her way to the gym, her cardio was definitely covered. What a strong woman.
She is strong. Tight shit. She's a total. That's a strong girl right there. You're dragging off total type shit.
Meanwhile, this other woman grabbed a hose and sprayed water on the demonstrators, trying to shut down the protest. But even soaked, they stood their ground until they were arrested shortly after.
We're asking the government to stop licensing fossil fuels, which are a death sentence to us all.
Yeah, but why here? But why here? Like, they choose the most random areas to do it in. Like, it makes no sense. Art. Why are you protesting art, you know? And then it's not that. This is like, I'm pretty sure this is like for what was it called? Plants and shit. It was a plants type of shit. I forgot what that was called, but yeah, this had nothing to do with gas or anything. And they protesting it, you know what I mean? Go to a fucking gas station, I guess, and do it there. I don't know.
Oh,
like,
Secretary General of
shit.
the United Nations
Protest the prices.
Criminal radicals are the government.
I don't fucking know, bro. Like,
fossil fuels. That's our government.
Just like these workers who push protesters up against a wall so their truck could pass through. While some people protest, others still have to get to work no matter what's happening.
honestly, bro, again, this is all these people and ass jobs, bro. What if you walking slow gonna do for anybody?
Now, let's look at this unbelievable case. A truck drove straight into a group of demonstrators who refused to move. As the vehicle pushed forward, most of them ran to the side, but one man stood his ground, slamming his hands on the hood. The driver didn't stop, and the impact sent the guy stumbling. And as if that wasn't enough, he still wouldn't move until he got hit again. Only then did he step aside.
At one point, you can't even blame the people for running people over at this point. Like, buddy sat there and took it. You can't blame me for running him over at that point. Like, come on. It's natural selection at that point.
But what happens when someone loses their patience and regrets it halfway through? That's exactly what happened to this truck driver who drove into a crowd of demonstrators until he realized the danger he was causing. Within seconds, he was surrounded and pulled from the vehicle. He was arrested but released soon after, since he stopped before things turned tragic.
The crazy thing is, everybody moved out of the way, so I don't understand why I didn't keep on driving. I would have kept on driving.
This driver took a different approach.
Personally, me, I would have kept on driving. Everybody was out of the way. I got somewhere to be. I don't give two shits. He didn't hit nobody. Nobody got hurt. I would have kept on moving.
Rather than hurting the guy, he just revved the engine to show off his car's power. For the next protest, that demonstrator will definitely be bringing ear protection.
I would have done the same thing. Want to hear my baby roar? Yeah, she sounds like a beauty.
This truck driver wasn't intimidated and just kept moving, pushing the demonstrators forward. Meanwhile, this car didn't even try to go around. It drove straight into the protesters.
Shit.
A while later, the cops finally showed up and shut the protest down.
Shit, I'll be right there driving right into between those people. This should be GTA. For no reason. Other than that, give me your thoughts inside the comments. Love all y'all. Be safe and God bless.